Yeah! Okay. Who wants to clean and debone him?
I'll do it. What gives? You want to do it?
Just wait till you see what I've got. It's the Wonder Boner. The Wonder Boner? Oh, you laugh now. Just watch. You just assemble the Wonder Boner stainless steel rods like this. Take the fish, find the top of the spine, slide him through the ring on the Wonder Boner, and voila!
The Wonder Boner. My wife would like that.
Introducing the Wonder Boner, the amazing new fishing tool that makes deboning fish a breeze. The Wonder Boner's unique design removes the bones from trout, char, and whitefish. Simply connect the appropriate size stainless steel rods, start the spine through the ring, and push the fish through. It's that easy. And the Wonder Boner comes with a polyethylene storage case that doubles as a base and a cutting board. Why go through the hassle of deboning a fish the old-fashioned way when the Wonder Boner makes deboning fish this easy?
Well, I think the Wonder Boner is a winner. So, Dave, where did you get the Wonder Boner? It's funny you should ask.
Hey everyone, welcome to Pop XP. And before the show starts, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload awesome new content. And don't forget, if you can, make sure to share our stream on all your social media outlets. We appreciate it, and thanks for helping us grow the Pop XP channel. Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's the brain of the mainframe here now, Scala with the Pop XP! And I'm bringing you the teen sensation, Billy Tucci.
Kapow! Dude, I got to get me a Wonder Boner.
I need a Wonder Boner, bro.
I've had a Wonder Boner since probably, I don't know, since I was 12 years old and all. I'm sure it was passed on to me by my dad.
Did you shove it in stuff to bone it?
Oh,
bone
yeah.
things?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
But seriously, but speaking as a fisherman, it looks like an amazing thing because that is the worst thing.
That's real.
Yeah, man. If you got it, like there are fish that you got to bone, like holy shit, like perch is tough and porgies are tough. Man, you get yourself a Wonder Boner. What man would not want a Wonder Boner?
I know, it's so long and stiff, and it looks like it really can support that fish when you're boning it.
That's right.
I gotta say, I gotta get me one of them Wonder Boners.
What you doing, brother? Wonder Boner.
Get your Wonder Boner. Brought to you by our sponsors.
Damn it, can't find it anywhere.
Bro, how we doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Looks like Youngkin has won the Virginia race.
Really?
So I'm happy about that against so got my new bell, Scala. I had to go buy some stuff at Staples. I'm like, oh my god, there's a bell. So there's gonna be my inappropriate bell or my top. So say something. Say I got a Wonder Boner right now.
I got a Wonder Boner right now.
Oh!
Andrew Wilson asks, does John Kent have a Wonder Boner?
Oh, there you go.
Boom. Bone that fish.
Bone that fish. Hey, y'all, give us a like. Give us a like.
Give us a like. Smash that bell. Welcome everyone coming into the chat. We got a great show, man. Great show. Our first stream of the week on the Pop XP.
Yes, very excited about this controversial, this controversial creator who's been demonized, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it. And we're gonna find out.
I think more of a trailblazer, Billy.
Well,
someone who's like, you know what? F that. Yeah, I said it. I said F that, and I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah, see what the cool thing about us though on the Pop XP is that everyone is welcome. So we hope that some people will engage in conversation with this man, who some see as a hero, while others may see as a villain, maligned by mainstream comics media, but he took a stand on what he believes.
That's right.
And my God, man, why don't we bring him in?
All right, my friend, please introduce our guest, a fellow Comicsgate king.
Ladies and gentlemen, the truth, the justice, and the American way, Mr. Gabe Eltaeb.
Hey, guys.
Did I say that wrong? I was trying to sound like cultured. Al.
Very close. It's Eltaeb.
Eltaeb, not I thought I'd say Eltaeb.
Yeah.
Instead of reading it.
How you doing, guys?
What's going on, man?
Very happy to have you on the stream tonight.
Very happy. You've created some ripples this past week, haven't you? There, buddy?
I took a wonder boner to the
Yes,
mainstream.
you did.
You
A wonder boner to the mainstream. You gutted it, my friend.
Gave
You
it to
gutted
him.
him. Big time.
Yeah.
You gutted it, boy.
So I mean, first off, I mean, it's crazy. Like, you know, your story got out there, and I mean, it hit some mainstream press. I mean, it was everywhere.
Well, I'll have to send a gift basket to Rich Johnson because I think he's the one that really blew it up. You gotta love that dumbass tried to defame me, and all he did is make me a literal millionaire. So thank you, Rich Johnson.
So now let's if we can go, let's hit with it. Well, shit, everybody wants to know. So what actually happened, and what are you being maligned as? What are they that like the mainstream or the
I don't even
press?
know.
What are they saying? You know, what's the story? Why are you the most hated man in comics right now?
I'm not the most hated man in comics, but I get what you're saying.
That would be
I don't know.
That's Billy Tucci.
Yeah, that would be me or Terry Moore.
This is going to be disappointing, but it is the truth. I don't look at it. I don't pay attention to it. I had a real bad anger, temper problem in the past, and God's really helped me, and I've dealt with a lot of it. So I knew when this started, and I started getting some weird comments on Facebook and Twitter from strangers. I just locked my social media because I knew how long can I resist fighting with people on the internet? That's been a policy of mine for 20-something years. I don't fight on the internet. I don't do it because you're going to regret it. You're not going to win anything. You don't win anything doing this, and you're going to humiliate yourself, and you're going to regret it days later. All this dumb stuff you're going to say. What are you going to go delete it? So I just knew I locked my stuff. I could talk to my friends, this and that. So whatever they're saying, I don't know, don't care. I will tell you this, though. People who I think are morally bankrupt, I don't want them to like me because if they like me, that's going to make me question my choices and what I'm doing. If people who I think are just more morally reprehensible people, if they're not happy with my choices, I know I'm on the right track. You know what I mean? What's that saying? You're taking flack when you're over the target, right? Yeah. So it was, I mean, we're lucky people. We live in a very abundant, blessed, amazing world we live in, this modern world that Western culture has given us. But it was a hard place to work after Trump got elected. It was always leftist, the entertainment business. But I don't know what happened to these people after he got elected, but he broke their brains. I remember talking to my wife like a month or two after the election, and they were still like the Women's March and all this crazy protesting. I was like, this is weird, right? Like, you think it'd be over by now. Usually when a president wins, give me a sec. The other side calms down after a few weeks. And none of us knew what was happening, right? Their minds were just shattered with cognitive dissonance. And to narrow in more, working there, you just had to hear all the time, every day, when they would announce projects, or if it's creators or editors tweeting or talking, how much they hate me and people like me for what we think. You know what I mean? Sorry, a lot of talking here. So it was a very oppressive thing, and you just had to hide. I mean, one of the first things I did is I went on Twitter and I wrote my name in Arabic after my name in English. I don't even know how to read or speak Arabic, but I'm half. And I figured, well, they're all racist, these leftists. They put you in a group depending on your skin color. So I knew if I kind of pushed my ethnicity more, they go, oh, he's a liberal. He hates Trump. He's crazy like us. He hates America and he hates tradition and all. So all I had to do was write my name in Arabic and not say anything. And that really helped. But it would always eat at my conscience. Like, I can't stand what we're doing. We are destroying a heritage that people worked so hard for. In the comic book business, the people work for it. But then you think of America at large, our myths and our heroes and all this. And we only have it because of the sacrifice of the people that have died for, a couple hundred years now to build this country, and for thousands of years to build Western civilization. And I'm keenly aware that I would have nothing if people didn't die for me, people I don't know, people I can never pay back. All I can do is pay it forward by building a better, building a future for my people I won't know, people hundreds of years from now. The Gabe 200 years from now, I have to do it for him. So I don't want my name on that. I don't want to be the generation of creators that destroyed DC Comics. And I was in there, and I'm like, I just got to get out. And I tell people, I gave some advice to my kids when they were growing up, like, don't look for the line with people. I was like talking about getting in fights in school and stuff when my kids were younger. Everyone has a line. You don't know what it is, but if you look, you will find it. Yeah. And that was advice I gave my kids. And DC Comics, they found the line with me. The line with me is just this outright disrespect of America. And I think of my grandfather. My parents were divorced. I felt really neglected and alone growing up. But my grandfather was this like light in the darkness for me. And he's a World War II vet, great, born in 1918, Great Depression. He's just that salt of the earth, amazing man. And he kind of meant, everything to me growing up. I have his cowboy hat. I have his bullhorns here in my office. And he was the man. And he would never tell me about the Pacific in World War II. It was too scary and weird and just terrifying. And I've, read books about it and listened to a lot of podcasts about it. Billy, that one I suggested to you, Hardcore History. Have you subscribed yet?
Oh my God, that's amazing. Hardcore History. I love it.
Yeah. So I'm going on and on and on. But to me, it was when I found out like a year ago, they canceled Young Justice. I was doing that with John Timms and Brian Bendis. And then they canceled that book, and I was kind of doing fill-in stuff. And they told me and John Timms, he's the illustrator, amazing illustrator, and a very good man. I really like him. That we got to do Superman, but they didn't have a writer for us yet. So I'm like, I've waited my whole life, and I'm going to be on the top book. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not top sales, but they're superheroes, and he's Superman. He's the most iconic. I finally made it. And then they said, Daniel Warren Johnson is going to write it. I'm like, cool, action-packed kind of thinker. And then it came around, it was going to be Tom Taylor. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy's a crazy SJW. And he hates anyone to the right of Mao. He speaks out against. And so, I talked to some people at DC behind the scenes, and I said, hey, this guy better not try and throw me off the book because I'm friends with the Brightwisers. I'm friends with Ethan. And they said, don't worry, he won't. So there was no problem there. And to be fair, Tom Taylor never said boo to me. He always liked my work and this and that. But I get the script for issue 1, and the title of the story is Truth, Justice, and a Better Tomorrow. And I'm just like, okay, so I was right about what he wants to do to this book. You know what I mean? It's just like the American way doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So
he's Australian.
That was whatever. Yeah, it's like, why don't you go work for the giant Australian company, right?
Yeah.
No fucking appreciation. Like, how dare you? And that was just it. And it just was driving me nuts, and I'm working on the book, doing beautiful work, by the way. And that's the difference between us and them, by the way. I disagree with pretty much everything these people stand for. I do gorgeous work for them. 2 books I worked on while I was at DC, won Eisner's. So I was able to perform at a top level, listening to their garbage, insult my religion, insult my country, insult like basically everything I believe. But I was able to work with them and just like in one ear, out the other.
Sure.
But they can't work with us if we say, we voted to lower taxes or something, to the right of Mao. Right. So it was time to get out because I didn't want to help them keep doing this crap. So
now, is it true though? I mean, we were talking on Ethan's show about that. DC lost that moniker though, right? The Truth, Justice, and the American Way. Isn't that owned by Siegel and Schuster?
I have no idea. I know Ethan found out after the stuff with me blew up. Ethan found out, I guess they don't have it.
Yeah,
I have no idea who has it, and I don't want to spend the time or hire a lawyer to go see who has it. I could care less. The way I look at DC and Marvel and all that is I heard someone say this the other day. Not my monkeys, not my circus. Like, don't care. Yeah. I got my sunglasses on, adjust the rearview mirror, and just forget them, man. It's sad to watch. Just leave them back there.
I think maybe it seems that even if they did lose this, even if they still had it, the sentiment seems to be that they no longer want Superman to be about truth, justice, and the American.
Oh no, not at all. No,
the funny thing is that he is. I know he's an alien, but he's just like any other immigrant that comes to this country. And you grow up, he is an American. It was American values,
right?
And the Kents taught him to be good, taught him about truth and justice and honesty and self-sacrifice and to be selfless and all. That's what that core American values, the same values that more Americans have died for other people's freedoms than any other nation in the world combined.
Right.
World War II, we fought our war, could have been for against the Japanese, right? The Germans declared war on us. We had no war with the Germans. They had never bombed us. They had never killed any of our citizens, but we sent our boys over there, to sacrifice themselves for another's freedom, to the tune of over 405,000 Americans were killed in World War II in 3 years.
Right.
But that also, it even goes even beyond that. You have, even within our own tragedies in our country, like FDR. FDR's Executive Order 9066 is what he proclaimed all Japanese Americans from first, second, I think Japanese Americans, first and second generation Japanese Americans, E4, which means enemy alien in the United States. And they were taken from their homes. They lost their businesses, all their possessions. They were sent with one suitcase each to a concentration camp where they were stored, where they had to live behind barbed wire guarded by machine guns.
Right.
And then something extraordinary happened there is that you had thousands of these American boys of Japanese descent decided to and willfully volunteer to fight for this country. Right. And what's extraordinary is that so many of them went over and they became the 442nd Regimental Combat Team, that they are the most decorated unit in World War II, United States Army unit. They had suffered over a 400% casualty rate, which means the turnover was just insane of them. There was a segregated unit with white officers until they started raising in the ranks, and there were battlefield commissions. And the thing is that they were awarded 21 medals of honor. And the thing too is that these are the ones that are what American values are about, that they went to fight and sacrifice their tomorrows for another's today, while their own family were being guarded and imprisoned in a concentration camp, guarded with barbed wire machine guns. Mm-hmm. When their own parents were stripped of all of their rights, they still believed in the American dream and knew that America was better than that, than any president, than any elected official, any executive order. What it is, it's about, like I said, about the flag. It's about the spirit of America. It's about this sense of independence. And it seems, that has not been lost on you, my friend. And you took that up, and that's your own personal views. You don't want to be part of it. You feel that they're bringing down this great company, these characters. Now, again, Jonathan Kent is the son of Lois and Clark. He's not, Clark Kent. But it's going in a direction, again, with that truth, justice, and a better tomorrow is something that, again, you are adamantly for that. And you must be applauded for that, because whether someone agrees with you or not, if you stick by your convictions, that's a man to be respected, and a woman.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, man. I'm trying to gather something together for you. Yeah, people try to say, "Oh, you don't like this kid being gay," or what. Who cares? That's like so uninteresting to me. I'm not a leftist. I don't group people by their race or their sexual orientation or whatever. I care about what people do. That's all I care about. Yeah. And again, that's how I knew I could fool them. That's why I wrote my name in Arabic. But if people don't believe that, let me open something for you here, and I'm going to share my screen here real quick. These are going to be out of order. I do care about heritage, and I'll show you proof that goes back years in this business. My own time and money, and out of my own pocket, and my darling wife did most of the legwork. You want to share my screen real quick? On preview night at the San Diego Comic-Con, I started Gabe Eltaeb's Comic Kickoff fundraiser. And me and some buddies would go down there to my friend's bar. My friend owned a bar like across the street from the Comic-Con. And you could come in for free and buy raffle tickets. And you could win, Funko Pops. And Dark Horse gave me graphic novels. And I bought a bunch of toys and things and video game stuff and Warcraft stuff. And also me and my buddy artist, we would draw. And then people would pay, we'd auction those off or whatever. And all the money would go to at first the CBLDF, and then the next year and every year since, it was the Hero Initiative. So this is just something I did on my own. So when I fucking say it's the American way and anyone wants to talk shit, why don't you choke on this? Because where's Jim Lee doing a fundraiser? He's way more famous than me. He could have raised a hell of a lot more money than me. You know what I mean? Where are all these big shots? Where's your fucking Tom Taylor? Where's all these big mouth SJW pussies, in my opinion, that they like to virtue signal and say they give a shit, but when it comes time to work, I don't see them doing this. I called the local news so I could go down and be on the news to advertise this thing. We tried to do our best to raise money so the little old men and women, so Jerry Robinson and Ramona Fredon, who built this business and didn't get paid shit when they did it, so they could have money maybe if they needed it when they were older and something happened, they need to pay their rent or they break their leg. And I started doing that in 13 or 14. So if you think I'm kidding about the American way and honoring heritage, just choke on this. These are facts, okay? And you can't refute it. So please.
Yeah, man. Amen to you there.
Amen. Amen to that.
Definitely.
So yeah, and it's a lot of fun. I remember when I first started working at Wildstorm, a weird thing was I was on staff in the office in San Diego. They would have us go down to Comic-Con during the San Diego Comic-Con, and we would work the booth, like handing out stickers and posters and stuff. I don't know why we did it. It was kind of fun. But I remember Jerry Robinson came in. He was like 80, 90. I was very old in a wheelchair. They had me pushing his wheelchair, and I took the moment to thank him. I said, thank you and all the people like you that built this business decades ago so I could just walk in here and have a career. You know what I mean? So, and you could see it. Heritage, it's important to me. You know, like I said about my grandfather, he was one of the only lights to me in my life when I was little. And I understood what it meant to be like a good man and have restraint and to be grateful. He had a miserable life, like, you know, 9 siblings. His mother died when he was little. He went to the 3rd grade. He had to get a job, the Great Depression. His first wife died of the Spanish flu pandemic, blah, blah, blah. He goes to World War II. He was a Mexican, and there was actually racism back then. And but a white woman helped him out. When he wanted loans to start his restaurant, this white woman, he worked on a ranch, she vouched for him at the bank and all this stuff. And he told me when I was real little about racism. I remember he said, yes, there are racist white people, but there are racist every kind of people. And there's, you know, it's not what you're hearing in school and the news. It's not white people are racist. That's a racist idea in itself. So he disabused me of any notions like that when I was very little. So I just feel like if I continue to work for them and they continue to destroy our heritage, then I'm humiliating my grandpa, humiliating my dad, humiliating myself and my family. So they're welcome to burn it to the ground. And the sales show, you know, the sales are, for companies that big that have that kind of advertising budgets, the sales are pathetic. Let's just say.
Oh yeah,
Know?
agreed.
So it was, and another thing that really irritated the shit out of me, if you will indulge me here, is the abuse from the crazy leftist editors and the crazy leftist creators to fans on Twitter and Facebook and everywhere. They would just humiliate, and you're a Nazi and a bigot and a transfer. It's like, oh, go fuck yourself. You. And someone needed to tell them that, and that someone was me, I suppose. So I stood up to them and I told them some real choice stuff behind the scenes that I won't share. I do have my latest video on my YouTube where I read the text I sent Jim Lee, the final thing, after a few emails going back with the bosses over there. And I let them have it. I told them what was what. And they know I'm right, too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants, go ahead. We got a chat here.
Yep, we just got a super chat in here. Thanks, Comics Exposed, $10. It's not cheap. Thank you, Gabe. You've got to start your email list now, either on Indiegogo with your campaign page or a completely separate email list with MailChimp or GetResponse, etc. Also, put Gabe's YouTube link in the description.
Okay. Yeah, I've been meaning to do that, but I'm not familiar with an email list. So I have 2 Indiegogo projects that I am already working on, and I haven't gone to Indiegogo and made the whole campaign yet because I don't know how to do it. But I'm very computer savvy, so I guess I'll figure it out, and I'll lean on my Comicsgate buddies to also what else I should do, because we were talking about when I want to launch today, and I said December, and then they're like, nah, during the holidays, people don't have money, and like, okay, excuse me, so maybe February or something like that. But
take your time because it's first impressions are lasting.
Oh yeah.
So take your time. Make sure you're ready. If you got to do it, if you can afford it, do it in February. If it's not quite ready in February and you can afford to push it off, do it in March. Remember, you want to come out strong out of the gate.
Thank you. And you know what? I was thinking President's Day, because my whole thing is the American way and patriotism.
There you go. Yep.
So maybe I'll have perfect. A President's Day sale where I have mattresses 50% off. You know what?
Nice.
But I think I'll launch it around President's Day, like mid-February.
That's an excellent idea.
Right. So because it is truth, justice, and the American game.
We'll share it, and we'll share in our updates. You know, like that's a very important thing. Is what a bunch of us have been doing is sharing our friends' crowdfunding campaigns and our updates. Okay, so like I do Kickstarter and Indiegogo, right? So I have my friends that are on Kickstarter. So I'll be like, like Brian Polito's newest book, or my friend Phil Russert's book I'm going to do, Tragedy 2. And in my next update, I'm going to have the link for Tragedy 2. Oh, by the way, if you're interested, if you like check out this guy's page, or this gal's page. If you can, please back it. If you can, at least share it on your social media. Yeah. That's huge. Same thing with Indiegogo. You get someone like Ethan putting it in an update. and or Shane or Graham Nolan or
Right.
Boom on their newest update, and then their updates aren't long. Don't write long updates. Make them like a page or so. And then at the bottom, check out, Gabe Eltaeb's new, President's Day sale.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I
even
think
like
it's
the
great.
descriptions
Yeah,
of our
it's very good.
streams, if you go in descriptions, there's a list of all the campaigns we recommend people look at. So every time I post a video live or recorded, if you go in the description, you're going to see 10, 12, 15 different campaigns just constantly rotating in there, just supporting all of our friends and fellow creators.
Okay. Yeah, and hopefully I'll earn it, and Ethan will have me maybe launch on his show or something like that.
Definitely.
You
I'm
should.
sure.
I'm working for Eric July on something. He said I could say I'm working for him, not on what, but it's gonna be awesome. And he has 500,000 subs, and I'm gonna go on his show and
Nice.
stuff like that. And my channel's blown up. I had 500 subs. I have 6,400.
You're at 6,400 something now. It looks
Yeah.
great. I just added the link to your YouTube into the description. So if anybody wants to check that out, it's in the description below. I got to ask you, Gabe, man, everything you've gone through, like you said, you reached out to Jim Lee and stuff like that. I mean, do you ever get taken back when you look at like those guys, right? Like you've been hearing the news about Image and their staff. I don't think it's artists, but their staffs unionizing, right? To try to control.
Please do that. Please
right?
unionize.
Well, like you get these guys like Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee, Will Percaccio, all those guys. They went and they basically fought to do their own thing.
Right. Oh yeah.
So
when
like,
what
the hell happened, guys? Some of them, yes, I think they're still beating to their own drum. But you get like I look at Jim Lee, right? Someone who that growing up in the '90s and stuff was very inspired by his work and everything like that. And like right now, I just want to grab and be like, what the fuck is going on? Why are you ruining my? I'm a DC guy. Like this hurts me. What they've done.
I'm a Jim Lee guy. Jim Lee is the one that made me want to do comics.
Yeah. I love Jim Lee's work, and I like Jim as a person.
Yeah, and I like him as a person too. I consider him a friend. I have his phone number. He gave me his baseball tickets to take my wife to the game. He's the one that handpicked me and hired me. I wanted to be Jim Lee when I was 13. I saw X-Men issue 1 came out when I was 13 or 14. And I saw that beast leaping over a rock on that cover, the pink cover. And that drawing of the beast made me want to work in comics professionally. Yeah. And he knows that. I told him that. I don't hate him. And if he hates me, that then that's sad for him or whatever. Like that's too bad because I am a good friend and I am loyal. So and I would sit down and have a meal with him tonight if he wanted to be peaceful and nice and all that. Yeah, I don't think I don't hold a personal grudge. Yeah. I think Gabe, this is a professional thing.
Yeah, Gabe, go real quick. You didn't quit, right? You basically told them that this is the last series I'm working on. I want to move in a direction of doing my own, right? And you did tell them, though, about the Truth, Justice, and the American Way, that it's not the DC Comics that you believed in. But you were going to finish your obligations, right, to those books?
Oh, yeah. I said I'll finish it out. I'll finish it out. And they decided that wasn't going to work for them or whatever. So that's fine. Hey, it's their business, man. They can hire anyone they want.
You're a big boy, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I couldn't even have done it for DC. I have more work than I've had in like a decade right now, and more offers and more stuff stuff I can't even really tell you guys about. So many things.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Maybe you could color that Salamandroid drawing I sent Ethan that I guess he doesn't like.
Hey, if you want me to, send it my way. Yeah,
I sent him the high res. It says so. Let him if he likes it, he can do it.
But no, I mean, it is crazy to me that life has changed this much for me. Like my identity was working for DC Comics. I was a DC guy. I would always root for them, root for their movies. And deep down inside, I'm like, why are they doing this though? Why this direction? Like. Nobody likes it. I think what Hollywood doesn't understand is the bubble that they're in, where let's take 100 Hollywood people, artists, writers, editors, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. 90 of them are very normal people. Even though they're leftist Democrats, they're still normal, loving, family, hardworking people. But there's 2 or 3 that are insane left-wing Marxist people, but they get all the power and make all the decisions because those people are vicious and out of control. So you know what I mean? Like any group dynamic works that way. You have that one evil bully, whatever, and everyone else just like say you're on the subway and there's a guy going crazy, throwing food in the air and screaming. What does everyone do? Everyone just like looks down and looks at their phone, right?
Right.
Even though you outnumber him 99-1, everyone's like, oh shit, I'll just be quiet. And I really see that that's how Hollywood is. Most people are there, they like making art, and they just want to pay their mortgage. And you got one or two people are insane, like demonic, weird people. And everyone else just looks around and goes, oh my God, I better not say anything or I'm going to have to confront this person. And I think that's why it goes so insanely woke. And everyone knows they have to do what I'm ashamed of, that what I was doing, just go along to get along. I didn't say I agreed with it, but I did not say it. You know, I just kept my head down and didn't say anything for years now. And I don't know, the American way, that was a bridge too far for me. That was just way too much. So
we got a super chat from Randy Howell.
Thank you, Randy.
$5. Thanks. Gabe, are you secretly Florida attorney Habib Rodriguez? Mike Barron got some explaining to do. Did you have anything to do with Florida Man?
I have no idea what that is, but Habib Rodriguez is a great name.
That is a great name.
Yeah. And Mike Barron is one of my oldest and best friends. But I do have stuff that I am going to be writing and drawing and stuff like that. I can pop it up if you want to.
Yeah, let's check it out, because I want to know where you're headed now and what direction you're going in.
I took over Wraith of God, coloring that. And it's funny because Hi-Fi was doing it, and now Hi-Fi is doing the Superman book. So we switched jobs. And it's funny, I got the Superman book and I looked at their colors and mine, and they did a much worse job than me. Then I looked at Wraith of God and I looked at what I did recoloring it, and I did a way better job. So good luck replacing me, DC. And Brian Miller's a nice guy. I'm not picking on him.
Brian colors my books, man.
Hey, well, I'm better. If you want to switch him out on that one, I'll take it too, Billy. I'm going to take everything from Brian Miller. You hear that, Miller? I'm coming for you at Super Slam this Saturday on pay-per-view.
Oh, my God.
6 a.m. Comics, new match right there.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to bring your screen up?
Oh, yeah, I guess I have to not be a boomer and share it, huh? Let's see. All right. You got that? It says I'm sharing.
Yep.
Okay. So, I am the world's biggest Van Damme, Steven Seagal, Stallone fan. And I've written a book about 2 years ago. I've been working on it for a while, called Beef Law. It's two twin brothers. They're martial artists. And their family emigrated from Russia to Hong Kong. This is in the mid-90s. And the dad and the mom have gotten in some really bad trouble with like Chinese and Russian mafia loan sharks and this and that. And the older brother, he doesn't talk to the mom and dad anymore. There's some bitterness there. He just does all this illegal like Street Fighter underground tournaments. The other brother's trying to go to law school and stuff like that. And he has to convince the fighter brother to come and help him stop these mafiosos. So we just get tons of jump kicks and, you know, bad guys with Uzis that can't shoot. It's exactly like a Steven Seagal Van Damme movie. And of course, our main guy here, he's they're the Volkov brothers. He's got a mullet that is not a ponytail. So Van Damme's haircut in Hard Target. That's the haircut we have here. So
nice.
Yes. So that's Beef Law, 1994. It's called Beef Law. It's just a straight up 90s action movie. I am writing, drawing, and coloring that one myself. That's my artwork there as an illustrator. And then my friend Philippe Briones, we met on Aquaman, and he hated working on all the woke stuff and this and that. He's a French guy. He was a big-time animator for Disney. Then he drew comics for Marvel. Then he drew for DC. And now he's gone back to a French publisher. Anyway, he's free now, and we're working on a book called Oath of Blood, Oath of Bone. It's futuristic. You got like chimeras, like human half-animal hybrids. You got transhumanism, where you're kind of like a matrixy thing, but you're not going to a computer. No, like more like cybernetics, like cybernetic body parts. And, it's got a dark future dystopian thing, but it's, there's still civilization stuff, but it's really fun action and adventure. There's some of the chimeras there. Philippe is an amazing illustrator.
That is great.
And these aren't pages. This is just Philippe sketching to get ideas. Oh my God. That's how amazing Philippe is. So, and it's the best.
Damn, look at
process.
This. Wow.
Because we were like, what is the idea that we want to do for our own book? Because we've made up like 2 or 3 other books in the past. Mm-hmm. And that was when we were on Aquaman, like in 2016, 17. And like, well, if we're going to do something, let's do something new. So we just started making it up, and we had a Skype session. We came up with a few ideas. And then I said, just go draw some heroes. And he's like, well, what are they? And I'm like, what do you like to draw? And he's like, so he just started drawing characters. And, it's gonna be really fun. I don't know, like this little girl down here, she can like be like a
Real quick, we got a friend just popped in. We're gonna bring him up on the screen. We're just
All
talking
right.
about this guy, Mr. Mike Barron.
Hi guys.
Oh, hey, Mike.
It's way past my bedtime.
What's happening, Mike?
Not much. Good to see you guys.
You
Good to see you.
The
We're checking
great
out
Mike
some
Barron.
work that Gabe's got going on.
Yeah, Gabe told me about his latest project. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
He's got a lot going on.
Yeah, and I just heard about a new fight movie. It's called In Full Bloom, and I wanted to bring it to your attention in particular, Gabe,
All right.
because it's being endorsed by every MMA fighter I know, and it looks good.
Very
It's
cool.
a movie, it's a story. It's like Warrior, which stars, who plays Venom?
Oh,
Tom
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
I
Tom
love
Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
He's in a great movie called Warrior, which is about MMA, and I recommend you take a look at it.
All right.
Tom Hardy might be my favorite actor.
Yeah?
Yeah, Tom Hardy and Brad Pitt. I just think those guys are great.
They are great. I wish you'd get better movies.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah,
I just wish you'd get back with Jennifer.
Tom Hardy or Jennifer Aniston.
Brad Pitt,
Pitt.
come on.
Either or.
Remember we used to think. Remember we were like, okay, who's
I thought
hotter?
they'd last forever.
Yeah, who's hotter, Jennifer Aniston or Angelina Jolie?
Oh,
Angelina Jolie.
Come on.
And Angelina Jolie like blew her away, but then Horrible Bosses came out,
Oh, yeah.
and they like, oh my god, holy
Yeah.
crap!
I think Jennifer Aniston's aging better.
Yeah,
I never
she's
thought
stunning.
either of those women were nearly as beautiful as they got credit for. I was always confused by that.
I love
It's-
Salma Hayek.
There's
Oh,
a new
that's
Angelina
much better.
Jolie movie called
She's
Those
not
Who Want Me Dead, and I recommend it very highly.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
All right, so everyone watch that, and then we're gonna message Mike and give him our reviews.
All right. So that's it, guys. It's past my bedtime.
Thank you for popping in, Mike. Great
That was
to see you,
Mike
buddy.
Barron.
Good night.
Mike, before you go, real
Yeah.
quick, everyone, check out Thin Blue
Thin Blue
Line,
Line.
the graphic novel.
Thank
by
you,
Mike
gentlemen.
Barron.
Hey, we're at 11, Mike. We were at 9 when I had you on.
I know. All I can say about this is you're going to love it because it's entertaining to the max.
Right.
Awesome, Mike. Let's talk. Let's get you on another
back
show,
on
and
the
we'll
Pop
talk
XP.
about the campaign.
Mike
Okay.
was one of our very first guest scholar, remember?
He was. He
and
was.
Mike, you didn't even have a camera on your computer
No,
at that time.
that's right. That's right. I'm moving into the 21st century inch by inch.
There we go.
Kicking and screaming, right?
That's right.
All
I
right,
can barely
my friend.
operate this computer. It's a miracle. You can see me as.
It's good to see you, buddy.
All right. Thanks. Good night,
All
guys.
right, have a great night, Mike. We'll talk.
All right, so Gabe, so which one are you going to launch first? Which project do you think you're going to launch first?
I think because I'm busy coloring comics and stuff, I don't have enough time to draw mine right now. So I think this one with Philippe, because Philippe says, send me
damn.
plot. We're going to do it the Marvel method. But what I wanted to
agree.
say about this one that's so enjoyable about it, and again, this is just concept art from Philippe. You know, he's going full effort on just
It's
concept
incredible.
art. It's just amazing.
I love all
And-
these character designs. Like
Yeah,
just like I don't even care about a dialogue right now. I'm just so enthralled by the images you're showing.
What's so much fun about working with Philippe is, like I said, he's like, well, what kind of characters are they? I said, well, what do you like to draw? And then we're like, well, there's the evil city that has everyone captured. They're captured, but like it's willful slavery in the city where this benevolent evil government gives you DNA to be a chimera and they give you cybernetic abilities. But really what's going on is something far more sinister about total control, and it's more of a surprise. And then there's the other people that live outside of it in more smaller cities that aren't as good. The evil city has everything you could ever want, like Pleasure Island or whatever it was called with Pinocchio, you know, where they go to that island and they can have anything they want and then they end up turning into donkeys or whatever. So you're tempted to live in this evil place. And but the amazing thing about it is, like, Philippe was like, well, what should the evil city look like? What should the good places look like? And I just told him again, what do you like to draw?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you want a hero that has wings or they shoot fire out of their eyes, like what will like do it for you when you draw it? Because I told him there's no editors to bother us. Nobody to give us stupid ideas or change the art or the story or anything like that. Like, we get to be true artists.
Right.
We get to take his 30 years of animation and comic book and my 20-something years and just combine all that know-how and experience and just be pure artists. It's like just an amazing gift from God to like walk away from the mainstream and make way better art, you know. So
I feel like the product you get, right? When you walk away from mainstream, you get away from all those gatekeepers who are telling you what to do, these editors that, from what I've been told, don't seem to really know what they're doing anymore because they push the good ones out and they're getting these crazy ones in. I mean, it's got to be just like one of those things where it was like when you're a kid and you were just so passionate about your comics and like, you know, you get into the business where you're passionate about it, but it is a job. But then it's like you almost like leave that job to continue doing your job, but now it's like yours. So like there's got to be such an uplifting thing. Like I'm doing it my way, and like this is where I'm going with it.
It's coming full circle, and Billy I bet he'll agree with this. When you were 7 years old and drawing, Billy, who was your editor telling you what to draw?
Exactly, my friend.
It was just pure creative freedom. And it's so fun to have these Skype meetings with Philippe because he lives in Canada right now. He left France because he's a conservative guy that loves his country. He's patriotic, and he hates what's happened to France. So his boy's going to college in Quebec, so that's where they live. But anyway, so I have these Skype things with him, and we're just like, well, what do you want to do? And it's like, well, what do you like? He's like, well, what do I want to write as a writer? It's like, well, what do I believe in? What do I like? And we bounce ideas. And he has all that Disney, like he was a lead at Disney. He wasn't just some schmo. I mean, there's no schmoes at Disney Animation, right? That's big time. But he was a lead there at like 23 years old on Tarzan, Emperor's New Groove, all those amazing movies in the late 90s, early 2000s. He was one of the lead animators there. So he has those Disney chops for storyboarding and the beat, the rhythm of story. So all I'm doing is Marvel method, and I bounce it off him, and he says, no, change this emotion to this, and then that way this guy doesn't seem so angry, and we get a little more mystery and tension. It's an amazing thing to work with him. And again, his designs are just these are sketches, everyone. And here's another thing about Philippe. One of the complaints about CG that I've heard from fans is there's not enough material, right? Because these are one-man shows, and you can only do so many books. Philippe is fast, and he said he wants to do multiple books a year. Because this is an Oath of Blood. We have 3 major stories of it that we like. It's a trilogy. I've already figured out the main beats of the trilogy. So we would like to do maybe 3-4 books in a year or something like that.
Well, if I can give you some advice, just like you give Scala. Scala hasn't launched his book because he wants to draw it too. Okay. And with everything else going on, like both of you guys. Now, Scala, you have a full-time job, and then you run the Pop XP. And the same thing with you, that you're coloring all these books now,
right,
Gabe, is that you want to get more product out there. I think what you could do is you could have a 5-page introductory story that you draw yourself, introducing the character, say.
Right.
And then you have the main story, though, is drawn by someone like Philippe or Scala. You get another artist to do it. You do it because the thing is to get these books out.
Okay.
Get them out. Nothing against either of you or even me. We're not EVS. We're not going to make $1 million on a book.
I am.
Not yet. We're not Brian Polito that's going to make $500,000 on a book. You know, we're just not there. But then again, Brian writes the books. He doesn't draw them either. But Brian can get 4 or 5 campaigns launched a year.
Right.
And every one of those
campaigns, is that like 6 campaigns a year now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good advice.
That's the goal, though. That's where you want to get.
Goal. You got to think of this as a business.
And each book's doing at least now like $500,000.
Yeah,
that's
Lady
awesome.
Death is approaching.
But so I'm happy that you say that, Billy, because it makes you feel like I'm on the right track. Because I'm writing, and then Philippe is drawing it. You know what I mean? That Oath of Blood book, and he's fast enough, and that's all he has to do. You know what I mean? All he has to do is draw. And I told him I'll handle the Indiegogo and blah 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 because he's not interested in any of that. He's just
and I do the same. Yep, I do the same thing because you're running so much stuff that I have. My artist partner, who's my finisher, if you will. Who does most of the lion's share. I lay it out. I do the roughs. I do very detailed roughs and all for the book, but I don't do the finishes. So he's basically like inking my book, though, with pencils, but he's tightening it up and he's adding his own thing to it in Gardenio Lima. And I think he's a far better artist than me. I really do. So with my storytelling, Stephen Peros' script, J.C. Vaughn's script, and then with Gardenio drawing it, off of my roughs, my roughs, my layouts, whatever, we get these books out. And that's the thing, is to get them out. I've already done 25 pages of the next She comic that's launching the end of January. That book's going to be done. That book will be at the printer by the time we launch.
Okay.
And that's the goal.
Okay. I love hearing all this from you because this is exactly what Philippe said to me. He said, I sent him plot last night for the first opening scene, the Marvel method of it. and he's drawing already. He doesn't need money. He's good with money, and he doesn't need to work for anyone right now. And he said, "Yeah, I just want to start drawing the book." So
and that art is sick.
Yeah, I sent him the opening scene. It's really fun action and got some comedy with some real severe violence too. And we get a little character moments in that too. We're like, this character has this personality. This one has this personality. I am an award-winning writer. For those of you out there, I wrote in college a comic strip for years. I won the top awards for that. I do know how to write. I've known how to read since I was 3. So language is a thing I'm very good with. So you don't have to worry about a garbage story for me. I'm a very good writer. I will prove it to you. I know talk is cheap. I have to prove it. Yeah. But I like sending the plot to Philippe, and he's already going to get going on it. So we talked about it today. I think he was off hiking or doing something today, but he's going to get rolling on it tomorrow, the next day. So I'll have pages soon. Excellent. So Billy, let me ask you this. What I want to do is get 5, 10, 15 pages done, pencil, ink, color, letter, and start showing that, and then create an Indiegogo sign-up list, but not create the fundraiser.
Yep.
I guess I need to wait till after the holidays or whatever.
Yeah. I think
Randy Howell, $5 super chat. I sold all my Disney stock. Give me comics.
And that ain't cheap.
Cheap.
The thing is because you could launch your mailing list. Now, I wouldn't go more than a month, maybe 6 weeks. I wouldn't go more than 6 weeks before you actually launch. But you should determine if you're going to launch President's Day, do 6 weeks before that. So if it's around Christmas time or whatever like that, why not? As long as you're out there, letting people know, because then you'll start to build this massive email list.
I get the mailing list from people signing up on Indiegogo. That's where the mailing list.
And then you could download that mailing list before you launch, because once you launch, that mailing list is you can't access it, I don't believe. So you have to grab it right before you launch, or you grab it every week and you just keep adding to it. It just keeps updating it. So you'll have this Indiegogo mailer list of 100, 200, 500 people, 1,000 people, all who signed up for your campaign. So then you can send them updates. You do something. Everyone who signs up gets a secret card added, trading card added to their stretch goal list. It's exclusive only to the pre-sign up people, and you'll be golden, bro. You're gonna do great. You're gonna do just fine.
Thank you.
And especially that you use a CG, the CG fans, you use the CG creators, you do the CG Kings coming in with you to help you out and support you. You're gonna find out that it is a very, very strong, very loyal, and very fun community.
Well, yeah, I gotta say, in my month and a half interacting with the fans, they've been fantastic. It's really been refreshing. Working in the mainstream was such a downer. It was like gray skies every day of just angry, like Patrick Zurcher, or angry, these weirdos on Twitter, the artists and editors, they're just fighting and
I normally see them from the fans.
Oh,
yeah.
More goodness. And
there's something I'd love to.
Creators are too busy. Sorry.
It was just such a negative environment.
Yeah, it is very negative. There's a lot of negativity there. Yeah.
Well, there's something I'd love to bring up because I saw in the chat, but first we need to just hear from one of our fake sponsors.
All right.
Introducing Great Moves, a great new party game.
Start making those great moves, great moves. Don't stop till you're done. Just keep on getting, making all those great moves. Great moves make great fun.
Great Moves.
That's
rerun.
What
part of you makes the great moves? A card tells you what to draw.
Getting out and getting into great moves makes parties such great fun.
Great moves.
All right, everyone, get out there and get your great moves on.
Was that just
that was Greg Brady and Pinky Tuscadero in that? I think.
And was that back when people didn't know cocaine was dangerous?
Yes.
Cocaine's a hell of a
And they
drug.
strapped markers to their crotches and drew on each other.
I can't possibly see the sexual innuendo in this.
Now, so Storm D says CG is the real Image.
Indeed, it is.
It's definitely what Image did back in the early 90s, CG is doing now, and I think they're doing it better because there's more freedom now than what Image even was doing. And I think you came in at the right time because it's in the infancy. But now I think it's getting bigger. More people are paying attention to it.
Right.
And I think we're going to see more pros starting to head over and do their own thing.
Yeah, they got to be brave. You can't just
they are.
along with this nonsense,
Yep, Gabe, I can't tell you. And I was telling Scala how many pros came up to me. I did a few cons this month, and at the shows, and how it had to be 20 of them coming up to me like this.
Right.
So,
Isn't that
I
terrible?
watch
They have
you
to
guys
like
every
sneak.
Monday night.
Isn't that just an indictment of the leftists? The people
Yep.
have to sneak to talk to you.
Yep.
But Billy, the money in CG's great, whatever. But I know how to make money. I'm not worried about the money. God always bless me. I'm always provided for. The artistic freedom, the thing I was talking about earlier, where when I'm with Philippe, like, well, what do you want to draw? How do I want to color it? How do I want to write it? That is worth $1 billion, the artistic freedom. To not get these crummy little emails from some 23-year-old editor that doesn't know their ass from their elbow. You want to know why your comics suck, fans? Why your mainstream comics sucks? Your editors suck. And I don't mean as people. I don't mean that personally. I mean at their job. If you never wrote comics or drew them or colored them or inked them or lettered them, how can you then be the coach for the people doing it? Is there such a thing as a football coach that didn't even play high school football? Do you know what I mean? Is there such a thing as a medical school teacher that was never a doctor themselves? Like, how on earth are these editors like not in the old days where they were like retired writers or whatever like that?
Right.
Like, you got these, and they're kids. They're like snot-nosed kids, like 26 years old. I think that's probably a cost-saving thing. But they
definitely.
Oh, definitely.
And they're nice. This is not a personal attack on them as humans, but as professionals, pathetic. Like, get out of here. You're not good at this job. You're terrible at this job. I'll tell you. Sorry, I talk a lot. I need to drink some water. Philippe, Disney animator, right? Knows his shit. 50-something years old. When you thumbnail a book, Billy, you just draw primitive shapes. You just draw an oval. You just draw a triangle. Later, you're going to draw it. And you send the thumbs to the editor to approve the page. Then you draw it. We got a kangaroo in this issue of Suicide Squad. And he just draws, like a triangle and an oval. Like, here's a kangaroo. The editor goes on Google Images and sends him 20 pictures of kangaroos. He didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. But it's like, this guy's old enough to be your dad, and he drew some of the movies you watched when you were a kid. I think he knows how to draw a fucking kangaroo. Like, geez, Louise. And it's not that we're precious and snobby, but it's alarming to me how ignorant the editors are to art. I've told you, Billy, this. I told you guys this on the King Show. One of the editors told me that they knew how to write stories really well because they read a lot growing up. And I was like, and I said this before, no. That's like saying I know how to cook well because I eat a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that know about writing, but they can't write.
Writing is not, you don't learn writing from reading. That makes no sense. So, whatever.
What are you going to do?
You publish your own comics.
You're going to go to Comics Gate and you're going to tell them that it's the American way, you jerks.
Yeah, I think I've made more money on my first campaign. My our She on the Bus is approaching the She Haikyo numbers because we did over 176,000 on Indiegogo with She Haikyo when we're now over 172,000 with the She on the Bus. And thank you all for that. Thank you, Nile, for sharing that. This campaign is going to end. It'll end probably January. It'll end. But once this campaign ends, that $60 500-page oversized premium formatted hardcover collection of the first 16 issues of She will no longer be just $60. It will be $100. So it's going to be almost.
Williams is in the house.
Oh my God. How talented is this guy?
Oh my God. Guy blows me away.
Yeah, you know what I have found?
Coloring
so many different artists. The best comic book illustrators I've worked with, no offense to the rest of you that I don't name, all animators. John Timms, animation background. Philippe Briones, animation background. And David Williams, I do Bass Reeves with him for Allegiance, animation background. And Dave says he's told a ton of comic book artists, go do animation for a year. And your comic book art will be just more amazing. One thing I noticed about the animation guys, their drawings are just singing. They're just flying across the page, the energy and the motion. So for any of you kids out there that want to do comics in the future, youngsters, study animation, I guess. I guess it'll really help because I see it when I color these guys. It's amazing what they can do.
Yeah. So. I love when he posts it, when he gets approval or whatever, he'll like post concept art that he had done for certain things. And I'm like, oh my God, why didn't they take that? You know, some of the stuff you see what the actual product is, some of it, I guess, never actually hatched into anything. But I look at that and I'm like, oh my God, that would have been a Batman I would love to see. Or that would have been a character I would love to see. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, let me show you. We showed this on EVS's show. If you want to share my screen again. Am I sharing or am I boomering? Yeah, I did this.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for putting She in there.
Yeah, that's David Williams. David Williams drew this, and then I colored it up. We did this for EV. I'm doing a Bill
awesome.
Willingham one soon too.
Yeah, Bill Williams is awesome.
Yeah, but this was a lot of fun. And yeah, we got She right there.
Thank you for that.
We took care of you. We got Pitt, we got Creed, and then we got Cyberfrog on the back. And then he's reading, if you look closely, let me scoot this up. Damn it, Gabe, don't be a boomer. He's reading 1984. So
there you go.
Nice.
Those are the books Ethan told me to put
Excellent.
in. And I told Ethan when I sent him this, I said, it's so nice to be able to render boobies again. I'm not kidding. At DC Comics, if you did that, you see the highlight between the breasts because the light goes straight there. Then you put the shadow. At DC, if I did that, which is not perverted, that's just physics. That's just light, how it works.
Yeah.
They would email me and say, please, like, flatten that out. Like consistently. And I remember calling my son in the garage because there was a queen in the issue of Young Justice and her dress was real low cut. So I really rendered them just like Hooters, huge. And I told my son, watch, I'm going to get an email tomorrow. They're going to tell me to get rid of this. Sure enough, the next day I got an email said, get rid of that. And then they have the illustrator redraw the neckline on the dress like up high. So no boobs allowed.
Wow. See, like when I do covers for Brian Pulido, he always like, okay, good, but make her boobs bigger.
Right? Yeah. He's like, get a crescent of that nipple in there too, It's like
yeah, Pulido's someone I'm gonna have to pick his brain
well.
because he's brilliant when it comes to treating the fans right. He's fun, and just what a salesman! What a great dude!
I love it. We're gonna have him on tomorrow night. We're
cool.
We got Dan Mendoza coming on tomorrow night, and Brian Pulido's gonna be on. If you guys don't know, Dan Mendoza got the rights back to his creation, Zombie Tramp. And he now can do all of his stuff again. And Brian, I guess, was part of that journey to get his IP back. And he's got the Kickstarter going, which crushed like 6 figures in a few hours. So we're going to have them on tomorrow night to talk the campaign. And we're going to talk about really, being a successful independent creator, losing your IP, gaining your IP back, what the journey's like, and probably some do's and don'ts and success and all that stuff. So it should be a great show tomorrow night. Yeah.
I was telling some guys the energy in CG right now is so good. That whole draw what you want, right? What you want. I told you guys, Billy, in our chat on Twitter, I said, if you wanted to be at Disney in the 30s or Marvel in the 60s, you're there right now. We are right on a burgeoning parallel economy. The leftists have their media, and there's movie studios coming up that are not, they don't have to be right-wing. They're just not SJW. There's publishing. I can say this, I won't say who, but they're decades old. I have a book deal now to write some stuff about comics, like an actual novel, like a real prose book. And,
Nice.
And that's from a, more conservative outlet. And what I'm noticing is that Gina Carano, she's doing a movie with a conservative studio. We're at the burgeoning moment of a parallel economy. Yeah. So if you're like, dang it, I'm too young to have been there at Disney in the 30s, you're there right now. You guys don't know it, but you're there right now. It's a great time to jump in and work your ass off.
Because the focus is on the talent now.
Right.
Remember back in the day, it wasn't what you looked like. It actually was on your talent. If you were actually a good singer, you were a good actor. I mean, yeah, of course they looked for beauty and stuff like that, but it isn't like today's standards where it's like, she's fucking hot. So, because the music industry doesn't follow by these rules, people. The music industry doesn't do it. If WAP, singing about your WAP and big boobs out and butts, flashing everywhere, no one talks shit about it because money talks, and that's big money, right?
Right.
And that's so you look at the music industry now to compare it was like, like those girls had to sing really well. Now they can auto tune you. They can make you a good singer. They can make what they want as long as you look the way they want. Yeah. So now when you go into like CG and some other independent creative realms, it's about the talent and it's about what the fans want. It's not necessarily what you may want personally or your ideals. It's about escapism, right?
And it's so much better because when there's those B2B, it's business to business, or B2C, business to customer. I want to be in that second one. I don't want to be selling services to DC Comics and then they sell them to customers. I want to talk to the people in the chat. I want to have live streams and more chat there and chat on your show and just get these people what they want. Just like I tell Philippe, hey, what do you want to draw? I'll say right into the camera to you guys, the fans, what do you want to read? Tell us. I'll make it. I'm a great artist. I'm a great writer. I'll make you what you want. You know what I mean? Tell us, and we can all be creative together and just have that escapism and fun. And I don't have to go through some editor that tells me to flatten tits out all the time, which is just ridiculous,
Yeah. And that's the thing is that like with CG is that what I've learned or what I've experienced is that it's not a conservative movement at all. There are a lot of liberals in it. There's a lot of middle of the roaders, and there's a lot of conservatives in it. Some of the more extreme conservatives are gone. That seems to be the moniker, that there were those that might have been anti gay marriage. You know, they were against gay marriage, and they're gone. They were kicked out. They were seen as extreme, apparently, you know, by the CGers, and they're gone. Those guys went on their own and did something else. So it's really about making great comics. That's what it's about. Giving the fans what they want.
And then unfortunately, though, anyone that, you know, because we have friends who are like, oh yeah, you know, we agree with that, but then, you know, I look at, you know, if you look it up on the internet, you know, it says this and this. I don't want to be affiliated with that. And it's like, well, then you just gotta have the balls and the backbone to say, well, I've never experienced that. I don't, you know, that's just all freaking fear words out there and fear descriptions on what things are, just to make people think, you know, something's one thing when it isn't. You know, it's nothing to do with any of that stuff. It's unbelievable what the media puts out there, the Wikipedias on CG and all that stuff. It's not what I've never experienced any of that crap. Never. And I've met people of all ages, races, colors, sexes, you know, you name it, they're in here, and their voice is loud. They even say, like, I've never experienced that here. You guys are nuts. You know, maybe there were some people that did some things, but they're gone. You know, that's how these things work. Sure. You know, like Billy said, there were some extreme people in here. Yeah, we get it. Right. But they come, they go, you weed it out. And now it's definitely in a direction where it is getting more news recognition. It's getting a little more. I think the thing, too, is you see so much from SJWs and stuff like that and other people that, you know, take offense to it, because it truly is a threat. Like, oh, wow, they're still going and they're still growing, you know, and more pros
and
are
they've
going
thrown
that
everything
way.
at it.
They've thrown everything at it.
And it's flourishing.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, you know, because like Ethan, man, he's funny as hell, dude. The guy's got the gift of gab. He knows how to talk. He's hilarious. He puts on a great entertaining show. You know, this is also a community where it's like, you know, like Billy makes comics, this and that. But guess what? Almost 4 nights out of the week, if you want to engage with him, he's live on the air. This is such an immersive experience. It's not even fully about comics too. It's the fact that you get to know your creators so personally and well that it's almost like a convention every night. You pick a channel. You know, tonight it's Pop XP. Tomorrow it's Gabe's channel. You know, Thursday you're going on EVS's or this and that. There is so much to enjoy that in between waiting for your books. You get to hang out with the creators. You're constantly getting updates. I mean, no one else is doing this. They're not doing their time doing this. This is so different. It's so unique. It is a true golden age of creation that this is the right place to be. It truly is.
Well said, man. It is. And yeah, I can't follow that up. That was well said. I don't need to do that. That was very well said.
But no, and it's going to be awesome seeing what you're doing. I can't wait to see you know, continue watching your stream, to have you on ours more, sharing what you're doing, and being able to have you on, just seeing your passion about, hey guys, we got this project going on, and I'm working with this person, and we're doing this, and so is doing this cover. I mean, dude, it's going to be insane. You'll be on Ethan's show, this, that. So it'll be so awesome, and it'll be great to see who else will follow suit. Because I'm sure, like Billy said, there's probably people in mainstream, you know, right now that are like, man, they need to jump ship or do whatever they got to do. And hopefully we'll start seeing those people and welcoming them in with open arms, because we're just about escapism, man. You know, whatever you are personally, that's cool.
Making good comics, man.
Make a good comic, man. I don't care.
I really would like to not talk about politics so much. It is so tiresome to talk about, oh, they did this to us and this and that. And it is supposed to just be escapism. So hopefully, you know, we can get, and I know I've said it 3 or 4 times already, but I cannot stress enough the joy in my life to just tell Philippe, what do you want to draw? To tell myself, oh, I just want to draw Beef Law that has illegal underground Kumite tournaments with, you know, fighters from around the world, because I love Van Damme. I love Street Fighter, the video game. I love Steven Seagal and his stupid ponytail. I love that stuff. I was a middle schooler and a high schooler when all that happened. And it was just, we had a tradition, me and my best friend, he's a day older than me. We called it stupid movies. And on Friday at school or on the bus home, it's like, hey, you want to do stupid movies? Go to the video store, rent a Van Damme movie. We'd rent Double Impact like every week, or Kickboxer we should have just bought it. But we know those movies song and verse, you know what I mean? Every line, and we look at each other and laugh and repeat the lines, and I don't know. So I just want to do a book like that, and I hope that the enthusiasm I have for that material will come through. I really hope so. So people can feel that joy I felt watching them. And I still watch those corny Van Damme movies. I have tons of them on DVD. I want people to feel the way that I felt when I was 13, 14, 15 watching this stuff. Just the wonder of martial arts and all that stuff. I don't know. It's really fun to me. So
definitely.
Roger that.
Awesome.
Well, I think
right,
that's a
guys.
good way to end it, buddy.
That is a good way to end
I
it.
want to tell you, I got my new phone.
Oh, cool. 2001 in the house.
Nice.
Yo, what's up?
He's like, yo, I'll get a dime bag and
Yeah, man. That's
that
what I'm
burner
talking
phone.
about. Came with a little clip. I could clip it to my Samsung, bro.
Right.
Where'd you find that thing?
What? It was just on the
He
floor.
found
of
it
the
in
studio.
He was just on the
2002.
floor.
I think I have a picture of Debbie on. I got to see if I can find the.
Does that have a camera on it? Or was that
Yes, of
before?
course.
I had that exact same phone when I
Have
was
a
a
camera.
sophomore in college.
Yeah.
Sprint?
Sprint. I'm still on. We've had Sprint since 1997.
I've been on Verizon my whole life. No, that's not true. I think my first provider was remember Nextel when it was like and you just like walkie-talkie that shit?
Yeah, I remember.
yeah.
I had the brick you had. I had my first cell phone in '94 because I had
Did you have the
San
Zach
Diego.
Morris phone?
It was black and it looked like it had opened up. It was they called the brick. You get the big battery if you want. They made it last longer.
Oh wait.
I was at San Diego and I had to call and order more posters, had them shipped to me because we'd sold out. And there was a retailer there and he gave me a cell phone. I'm like, oh my God. And then when I got back from San Diego, I got a cell phone. Oh, I got this giant phone.
Hey, I got to make a correction because I was talking about streams we could go on, and I was like EVS on Thursday, but I forgot. In reality, yes, Thursday night is must-see TV with the professionals. I know, Stippling Vaughn. I know.
Is there an open night that I should take? Or Monday is Kings. Tuesday, I don't know what Tuesday
Good luck. You just go with
Time
it.
for the Gabe Show. It's time for Truth, Justice, and the American Gabe Show.
is. I guess.
That's what you got to do, bro. Do it like Friday nights or something.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I have a show I do with my daughter, Minnie. She's been a
Nice.
stand-up comedian since she was 16. She's going to be 25 in the spring.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
it's father-daughter dance. And we just joke and improv. And she reads me irritating news that she knows is going to make me like be an old man, get off my lawn. And we have a section called Judge and Judy. She loves Judge Judy. She tells me the Judge Judy case, and then I predict how Judy rank is going to rule and stuff. So we both did a lot of comedy together.
That's great.
She
That's
did stand up there in Hollywood at
awesome.
the Comedy Store and all that for years. So, and
That's
here in
real
San
cool.
Diego, and yeah, we went to the Groundlings together. We took classes there together. You know what the Groundlings is?
No.
It's the main school in Hollywood where like everyone on Saturday Night Live went to the Groundlings. You know what I mean? It's where you learn improv. You know, like whose line is it anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my daughter and I did that. So no, we like comedy a lot. She and I. That's what we
real
connect
cool.
on that a lot. So
I
we do
respect
that father-daughter dance once a week. I think on Wednesdays. We did one last week. We're gonna do one tomorrow. So
There you go.
Awesome, man. That's
Perfect.
really cool. And
Someone told me
Mopsy, when
Oh.
you get your pages done, I can then start promoting the book. You lazy son of a bitch.
Oh, dang, that just happened.
That just happened.
will you explain this to me? Someone Storm D says, "Stay away from the Jack Show until you're ready, Dave."
Oh yeah,
I've heard
Jackson.
it's rowdy. I've heard
You
it's
get
rowdy.
shit faced. I
Pure
think you get
evil, yeah.
shit faced on that show.
Yeah.
I think it's the whole thing's about like drinking, and I think Anna just eats like a bunch of snacks or something. Last
I
time I
think they're
watched,
doing,
they
like,
were like talking
the
about how
Taco
she
Bell
eats
challenge.
sugar all day long.
I heard they have some horrible contest called the Taco Bell Challenge where you have to eat $30 worth of Taco Bell.
Oh, that's easy.
That's
Yeah.
horrible.
That's I love Taco
Every
Bell.
man can do that.
Oof.
I could crush that. But Taco Bell got so expensive. Back in the day, yeah, $30 worth of Taco Bell could
Right.
feed like 13 people. Like, no joke.
I don't think I've been to a Taco Bell since like 2001 or 2. I live 20 miles from Mexico. San Diego has the most amazing Mexican food like on earth. It's
Nice.
different than Los
Well,
Angeles.
you just never had Taco Bell then.
That's
'cause
right.
that's
My
authentic.
Hey,
my
Scala.
grandparents
Yeah.
owned a Mexican restaurant for 50 years. I grew up eating like authentic Mexican food. So
Nice.
Taco Bell, I better not be seen in one of those.
Yeah, that's like going to Italians going to Olive Garden, Scala.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I know.
But Scala, we should do a White Castle show where we
Oh,
just
yeah?
see how many White Castles we can eat.
So people can
We
see
don't
like,
have that here.
do you have knee pads
What?
What?
Knee pads.
for
Knee
White
pads?
Castle, man? Because it's fucking, you
Oh.
eat that shit, you're gonna be fucking
Oh.
barfing
I
your
did
brains
have
out and
it
shit in
in-
your
Devin
pants.
got thrown out of White Castle in high school or at the
Did
high
you?
school.
It's like weird now though. They have like all this crazy shit now. Like all
I did
these
have it
different
in
kinds of
Vegas,
sliders.
and it was good. It was like $1 for a little hamburger or something.
It's fantastic. It's
Well, they don't
great.
do the taco challenge anymore because John's got diabetes.
Oh, no. Do you guys have? You don't have In-N-Out though. That sucks for you guys.
We do.
Right?
Well, you haven't been to Have you been to Connecticut, Gabe?
I have been east of Colorado twice. I've been to Chicago, and then I've been to Washington D.C. So no.
So you
I spent
haven't
my
tried
entire
the
life
world's
in the
best
American
pizza
West.
in Connecticut, then.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, you know
Thanks
what?
for bringing that up, Mob Seat.
You know that fundraiser that I have?
Yeah.
It's at Bar Basic, and the guy is from New Haven, and he does New Haven style pizza.
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
very familiar with it. He's a good friend of mine. We coach Pop Warner football together, and he
It's like
lets
the
me
best
use
pizza you can have, New Haven style. I tell you what.
And it's
I
amazing.
must say.
And he has one on the menu: mashed potato,
Yeah.
bacon, and onion.
Mashed
That's
potato
great.
call
Just
pizza.
put some pineapple on. Then you have a real Connecticut
Get
pizza.
out of- No, pineapple. Get out of
All
here.
right. On
Mashed
that
potato
note,
pie is legit, bro. Have you had
I'm
it?
hungry now.
no, but I do
So-
love chicken pot pie or turkey pot pie. I do. I adore it. I'm on a
We're gonna
cleanse.
do a
I can't
pizza-
eat it or
we're gonna
dr-
do a
I'm not
pizza
eating
crawl,
or drinking
bro.
until the Thursday before Thanksgiving.
What? You're not eating or drinking?
No, I'm not. I'm not eating. I'm not like. I'm eating healthy, so I'm not
Oh,
eating any
okay.
carbs or anything or drinking until the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Me too. Isn't it the worst not eating carbs?
No, I feel good. Nah, once you get rid of it, you eat a hot dog without the bun. The first one, like, it's kind of weird. The second time you eat it, it's like, it tastes just like a hot dog.
Yeah, but I don't know. You do that whole thing with it. It's like, dude, just take a bite. It's just
You
weird.
know, like this. But,
Yeah.
All right.
He lets gravity guide its way in.
Awesome.
Disgusting. All right. Well, hey,
All right,
everyone.
boys.
Gabe, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. It was a blast. I hope you can join us again sometime. And,
yeah, man, I'd love to anytime.
And when you launch, especially when you launch,
yeah.
after you launch, you come on, man.
When I launch, I got to be everywhere, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So
No sleep.
yeah, that's one thing. I'll
Like
let
a
you go.
hula.
Yeah, I'll let you go
Oh,
because
yeah.
I have more questions. But the show, we're trying to end it for 15 minutes now. So
Let's go. But hey, everyone, check us out tomorrow night, 9 p.m. We'll be on with Dan Mendoza, Brian Polito, talking Zombie Tramps campaign. And I guess, the journey it takes to get the rights back to your creation.
Yeah.
So we'll do that at 9 tomorrow. Gabe, it was awesome seeing you. Keep us in the loop with anything you have going on. You're more than welcome to join. You'll probably get like some just random like, hey, I'm going live with so and so tonight. If you want to join, here's a link.
yeah. Oh, Jasper told me I should stream now and I would get a raid. What do you guys think? Do you think there's any truth behind this?
Stream.
Stream now, bro. Yeah.
Stream now.
Okay,
bro.
and Billy,
Go
I'll
on.
throw it in the CG thing if anyone wants to jump in.
There you go.
So I guess I'll
All right.
stream.
Yeah,
All
stream
right.
and raid. Let's get
All
that in
right.
and get those subs up for them. Everyone, hey, have a great night, and we will see you all tomorrow night on the Pop XP.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
Night.
Have a great night. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on Pop XP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the Pop XP and over on Instagram at the Pop XP. Thanks again everyone, and we'll see you soon.